Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is Altered. This is a TCG, that's a collectible card game or trading card game. And there's one of 6 different starter decks that you can choose to play as. So you don't have to play with a starter deck, you play with boosters, etc. You can scan them in so you can get your digital version whereby you can get foil versions of cards as well. I'm playing with one of the simplest factions you can play with, but also one of the most powerful ones. This happens to be Sizimar and Wingspan. And what this person actually do is bring out one of these cards at the beginning of your turn. Sorry, not these cards. I've lost them a second, but basically these recruit cards. So, aim of the game is to move out from the hero location and the companion location represented by these tokens into the middle, and you basically want your tokens to meet or they could cross, but the first person to do that is going to be the winner, and you're trying to compete and have the most majority on these various different symbols, so mountain, water, etc. And these 3 cards in the middle are shuffled up and are not revealed initially, so you're not sure exactly what you might need. But as an example, this card would be face down, so you're not sure what you're going to be trying to get to. But initially, you're trying to get these things to match. So what's going to happen? Well, first up, you're going to draw yourself 6 cards, and then you're going to draw put 3 face down. If you see my Lorcana video, this is similar, whereby you're going to be using these as kind of like power. So we have a little mana word down here, which is just kind of out of shot, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I might get rid of this card because it's a bit expensive to buy early on. Another 3 card I might get rid of, and another 4. So I would have had 3 cards left. And then on my turn, I can choose to spend this mana to bring out a card. So let's say I actually have another cheaper card here. Let's say I bring this guy out. It's going to cost me 1. So this card is going to get exhausted. And now this card can come out straight into play. And already you can see I've already got what I might need, which is I'm going to have 2 mountain and 2 water. So I'm in the majority for this one. So my token would have started back over here. Sorry, wrong way around. Plus the beginning of my special ability is at noon, which is basically playing out a card. You'll also bring out 1 recruit card. So do it once per turn. So I bring out a recruit card, or once per round. And now I'm actually worth majority 3 and 3. So if when we finish the round, I've got the most, and that's in these various bits, then I'll move across. So they might have the majority on forest, and they might move across, or I might have the majority other ones, and then go move on to this tile, and then this is going to come across. And imagine I'd won it. The next time round, I might be competing over different stuff, but I'm trying to have the majority overall. For forest, they might still have 4 forests somewhere else, and as long as they've got more overall than I do, I will not be progressing. But if I do have the most from forest, then I will progress here, but again, they're trying to progress on other stuff. So things will vary slightly because they might want forest over here, I might want water, whatever it might be. But then I still have some more turns to do. So they take their turn, it's back to my turn, I can bring this one out. It's going to cost me 2. So I've spent 2 more mana, so I spent 1 mana, spend the other 2. So 3 have now been spent in total. So these are kind of just out of shot, but you just twist them sideways. Bring this guy out wherever I want to. Let's say I bring it out here, and this one also creates a recruit, so I bring out another one of those cards as well, and that can of course help me with get my majority, but maybe I want to bring out this side instead. So that's how that's going to work. Just to let you know, they have different backs for these recruit cards, so they'll be just out of shot. Just to show you, there's 6 different kinds of characters you can play with. Ones which are mix things around, ones that have a die which gives you different values. But other things can give you boosts. So boosts can give you +1 for these various different terrains. So some cards give you that. So it might go on here. So therefore it's +1 towards those ones. And some things give you +2. So you can flip them over. Apart from that, there are some other things to be aware of. So once you have finished resolving everything, you might then switch players. So there might be them to go over next. You'll bring your cards back. So any cards that came up here are going to come down into your reserve. And the next time when we're playing, the next time around, and you're bringing cards out from your hand or from the reserve, this time they are going to be called fleeting, which basically means they are being a bit exhausted, a bit tired. And once you now resolve the next day or the next round, these cards will go away. They're going to go into your discard pile, and they won't be played with again. So they're going to go into your discard pile just out of shot. You'll always have that mana build up. So every round you're going to have more and more mana. So you start with 3, then 4 in the next round, 5 in the next round, 6 in the next round. And of course, you'll have some cards, and it means some more expensive cards you might have, you can now start spending. So you might end up spending a 3 and a 2 in 2 separate turns, but some of them might be worth 5, etc. So I happen to wait and bring out this card, which brings out 4 recruit cards, which means I'm getting 4 more majority wherever I want them to try it and then fight. So in the last game, I happened to go ahead early, but then the opponent came back at me and balanced things well and happened to get the victory. So there's some luck in what you end up drawing, and some cards are like sabotage cards, which means they can destroy a card from the reserve. that gets discarded. So it means you kind of want to push your luck. And if you've got a reserve card, you might want to play it as your first turn to avoid it being taken and lost. That's pretty much the summary of the game. It's quite a fun game. Like I said, I do like the way it doesn't seem to take too long, and the fact that you're trying to race to move in the center. A bit take that in some respects, because you don't know whether or not you're overcompensating and committing too much on one side, which some people might not like. Some people might be thinking, okay, well, I'm fighting on this. Why am I trying to resolve it? These tokens are very thin, so they are difficult to pick up, very much like in Lorcana as well. But check out my Lorcana video. Any questions always, any errata, any updates, check out the description, YouTube, like, subscribe with the notification bell for further videos. If I'm speaking too fast, just slow it down. That has been Altered. David, anything else? This is your copy of the game that you would like to add about this?
So yeah, I think this is definitely a game you can get into. I'm just not quite sure about the whole collectible side. I think having 1 or 2 starters gives you a good feel of how the factions work, and you can play them off against each other. It's a nice tabletop game in that respect. If you do want to start collecting the cards, I think it can be quite hard to find a specific card, like a rare that you're looking to get. And there's no secondary market at the moment. There will be digital cards that you can trade online eventually. The publishers endeavoured to do that. And also you can have cards reprinted. So if you do get a nice card, you can make it sort of shiny with a foil filter, and then get a print on demand function. That'll happen hopefully next year. The game's only had 1 expansion at the moment, and the second one's being released in January. The game is still growing in the European Union. I think it's obviously a French published game. It's got a huge backing there. It's not really taken off so much in the US. So we'll see if it does continue in strengths in the future. We'll see.
Cool. So yeah, the art's fine, and there's nothing that obviously for me, I'm just basically picking up on the keywords. But I like the fact it's just 3 things that you're fighting over. The playmat's fine. It's like an Lorcana 2. And the actual backing of it, or the back side, I felt like it doesn't have to be the same side, because then you need to make sure your cards are the right orientation. Card thickness is fine as well. Again, these haven't been sleeved because these are boosted starter decks. In fact, not boosted starter decks. And you can check my sleeving playlist too. But yeah, this is by Equinox. Enjoy the game. This has been Altered. Back to the table.